Be honest, you probably already have an opinion on this game even if you haven't played it. Positive or negative, Call of Duty is a cornerstone of the fall video game lineup. So, is Infinite Warfare worth it? Let's find out. Infinite Warfare is the 13th entry in the long-running Call of Duty franchise. The series has evolved from a traditional game and into a collection of separate experiences. Infinite Warfare is perhaps the most drastic example of this, featuring 3 unique and radically different options. Sure, there's a shared engine and some core mechanics, yet these are divergent creative visions. But the question remains, can quantity make up for quality? Infinite Warfare's single player is the most notable departure from the norm. In the far-off future, Geneva is burning. After a terrorist attack leaves hundreds of civilians dead, the United Nations Space Alliance declares war on the settlement defense front, a Mars-based colony seeking the dismantling of Earth's governments. Players take control of Captain Nick Rios, a devoted soldier coming to grips with his recent promotion. Now in command of the starship Retribution, Rios will need to quickly adapt to his daunting responsibilities in the face of a complete solar system war. Infinite Warfare's vision of a theoretical future is meticulous in its design, creating a sense of wonder and believability. The way the UNSA's warships spark and shudder while warping communicates how fragile this technological leap is. Robots vary from near-human comrades to thoughtless killing machines, blurring the lines between life and automation. This is a future trapped between stable eras, adjusting to the beneficial and destructive advancements in civilization. Unfortunately, this is told through a set-piece-driven action story, leaving little room for meaningful introspection. Victory, fear, grief, and relationships are all displayed in high volume, resulting in a sort of white noise as the game progresses. This is intended to keep the moment-to-moment gameplay entertaining, which sadly doesn't pay off. The 6-hour campaign features a surprising amount of player choice, with several side missions available between story events and customizable soldier and ship equipment prior to heading out. Problem is, outside of dramatic voice acting and plot progressions, these largely feature similar environments of dark, constrictive metallic warships. And with metallic enemies absorbing numerous bullets before defeat, the first person running and gunning loses its speed. There are a couple of high-tension stealth encounters, requiring fast reflexes and environmental awareness, but these are few and far between. Luckily, Infinite Warfare's spaceship and zero-gravity combat diversify the monotonous grounded firefights, which largely play the same at different velocities, while piloting forward and back control the ship's immediate direction, with momentum instantaneously shifting. Locking on takes the role of gun sights, following opposing forces unless visuals are broken. These moments feature a greater sense of mobility, but are bogged down by inevitable victories. At some points, I was unclear how accurate my shots were, with my vision mostly obscured by surrounding firefights, but the generous lock-on ensured my enemies would meet their demise. Taking out gigantic warships or exchanging bullets in free space should have more impact, but beyond the initial spectacle, it's rather monotone. And that's the real problem here. The campaign overdoses on exaggerated catastrophes. Its story is centered around adapting to personal loss, but when everything matters, nothing stands out. And with side missions offering the same bombastic presentation without narrative pacing, the single player's brief inspired moments are abruptly interrupted by repetitive gameplay. Thankfully, Infinite Warfare's sizable online multiplayer selections salvage this package, with classic team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, capture the flag, and kill confirmed all making their return. And for the most part, these modes deliver an addictive and frenetic competitive experience, as well as a diverse selection of space and Earth-based locations that really show off the graphical and lighting engine's capabilities, with longer distances and an impressive amount of effects without dipping below 60 frames per second. The maps are far more open than their single-player counterparts, and this extra space encourages players to double jump, wall run, and slide into battle, though the liberal occurrence of high invisible walls is a disappointing limitation. Still, these environments are thoughtfully designed, with plenty of choke points, vantage spots, and advanced mobility, with a robust color palette to make map memorization easier. Of course, soldier customization is back, with ability boosting perks, weapons, and scope swapping. But Infinite Warfare utilizes the 10-point system, allowing for carefully balanced loadouts or a single souped-up weapon. Snappy submachine guns, lengthy rifles, and blaring shotguns already provide enough depth, but the additional adjustments transform the otherwise limited guns into all-purpose firearms. Lastly, there are the rig classes, which essentially serve as another layer of perks. Outside of the unique powerful killstreak weapon, they don't evolve the series in any meaningful way. Still, Call of Duty's competitive gameplay remains remains the centerpiece of the collection, showcasing the best examples of crisp audio, fluid gameplay, and smooth performance during chaotic exchanges. The added missions within this mode challenge players to approach combat in different ways, with satisfying results. If there is one nitpick, it's the keys and crates system. It's not restrictive in any way, as keys are regularly doled out post-match, but obtaining equipment through randomization does feel at odds with the general player-controlled systems. Lastly, there's Zombies in Spaceland, a cooperative mode where 4 players fight to survive against a horde of flesh-eating monsters. The spooky neon-infused amusement park paired with an excellent selection of 80s pop songs really sells the concept, complete with roller coasters and bumper cars. Ammunition is always limited, requiring players to take out the invading zombies to earn cash and unlock equipment and escape paths. This is an enjoyable diversion to be sure, but having every match start at the exact same location does discourage continued play. If you're fortunate enough to find 3 other goal-oriented players, it's a great time, and if you're not, the humorous voice acting will keep you entertained. So, is it worth it? Yes. Infinite Warfare is a classic example of a sum being greater than the individual parts. On their own, the single player and zombie sections feature some exciting changes to the formula, but the repetitive design often overshadows the overall experience. Competitive multiplayer remains the best reason to play Call of Duty, with a vast amount of customization, match types, and challenges. If a compelling campaign and assorted co-op gameplay is a must to you, you'll likely be disappointed, but Infinite Warfare's speedy online shooting is enough reason to give this one a look. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is currently available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC for $60. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.